For developers in China, 2022 was definitely a tough year. Despite all the troubles of isolation, lockdowns, and market recessions, the indie developers still managed to create brilliant games that just wowed us. In this video, we picked some of the most worth noting indie games that came out last year. I'm your host Pixi-Chan, and here are my 2022 Chinese Games of the Year Pixi-Chan edition. Most innovative word game. When we talk about lost in translation, we normally refer to nuanced meanings that are lost when translated into a different language. However, for word game, one of the most innovative RPGs that came out last year, lost in translation simply means if you don't understand any Chinese, you'd be completely lost. Word game is literally a game of Chinese words, and a great RPG game that you might never be able to fully understand if you don't speak Chinese at all. It has an axy art style like the Stone Story RPG, but a game mechanic very similar to Baba Is You, where you need to find points of interest and solve puzzles by interacting with the Chinese characters that both serve as a graphic elements and actual literal hints. By changing specific words in the sentence, you can solve puzzles, beat enemies, or simply pass the level by editing the meaning of a sentence to its opposite. If you are interested to know more about this game, we will be having a featured review on this most demanding game of the year. Also, don't forget to check out our website and Twitter, we have gaming news and reviews every day. Now let's get back to our list. Most viewed, Dungeon 100. Being an indie developer is a tough business. You have to find your own way to promote your games. The creators of our most viewed game of the year, Dungeon 100, managed to do that by turning their game development process into entertaining content. Dungeon 100 is an indie dungeon game combining deck building, auto chess, roguelike features, and a Diablo-esque style. You can build up your deck like in a card game and try different combinations like in an auto chess game. After beating a boss, your current character will become the new boss of the level, which makes the game quite interesting to replay. Dungeon 100 is still in early access. The game is being developed by a couple who recently quit their jobs. They upload videos about new game features and development details. Yes, the developer couple doesn't seem to worry about their confidentiality. You can watch them sharing their code, modeling, and artwork in their videos with cute and humorous chats. What's more, they even posted an online document to gather ideas for magic from their subscribers. At this point, their video channel on Bilibili has over 17 million views and 145k subscribers. Though Dungeon 100 isn't a good game yet, it's for sure the most viewed game of the year. Most ambitious, The Scroll of Taiwu. It's very important for game developers to have an ambitious vision to push the boundaries of technology and gaming experience. However, ambition can also be a double-edged sword that drags a project into disastrous limbo. You know what games we're talking about. The Scroll of Taiwu is an indie open-world RPG based on Chinese mythology and wuxia tales. You can learn fancy Chinese kung fu and gain superpowers, or play a complicated cricket duel minigame that is as deep as a Pokemon game. It's one of the hottest Chinese wuxia fantasy games out there and had a very successful crowdfunding campaign, rumored to have sold over 2 million copies during early access on Steam. It sounds like the game is on the right track, but the lead developer had such a strong vision for the game that the content and systems just kept expanding, and eventually led up to a plan to completely overhaul the game before its official release. When the 1.0 version was finally released in 2022 after 4 years, fans were surprised to find out that it was very different from the game that they had played during early access. To be fair, the new version is quite decent, but it's just so different from previous versions, from UI to core gameplay with little guidance for players to adapt and understand what's going on. It's not hard to imagine why most players are not happy with the sudden changes. However, the dev team is dedicated to creating their ideal game and has been very keenly working on the updates. We hope after a while those ambitions will finally be fulfilled and we can see one more salvation arc just like No Man's Sky. Most enraging, Hark! As you might have experienced, video games can bring us joy, but can also make us so freaking angry. Introducing the most enraging game of the year, Hark! Hark is a Metroidvania game at first glance. Hark is made up of beautiful pixel art, delicate level design, and average combat experience. What's more, every time you get killed by enemies, you can earn one of those shiny green coins. You can use them to purchase powerful gadgets, but this might lower your evaluation. So, all of this sounds like a well-designed Metroidvania game. How is it enraging? In fact, the green coins aren't normal coins. If you open the purchase tab, you will see the Chinese word cai. Cai means vegetables in Chinese, but it also means noob. These green coins are actually noob coins. That is to say, the game calls you a noob every time you lose, and spending these noob coins means you admit to being a noob. So, if you are about to play Hark, be a pro or be enraged. Most iconic horror game, Paper Bride 4. Chinese and Asian-themed horror games are always unique in their style and presentations, and the Paper Bride series has been the iconic Chinese horror game on everyone's lips. Paper Bride is a Chinese point-and-click horror mystery game series. In August 2022, the fifth game in its universe, Paper Bride 4, was released and received very positive reviews. This series is famous for multiple reasons. Their highly recognizable art style is a combination of traditional Chinese folklore metaphors and remarkably modern-looking character drawing. The theme music is a mix of Chinese folk instruments, Chinese opera, and believe it or not, elements of alternative rock. In the most recent installment, Paper Bride 4, the storyline further blurs the traditionally harsh line between Chinese folklore horror and modern science and reality. You can see the appearance of the internet, social media, smartphones, and wait, what? Best Strategy Game, Extremely Realistic Siege Warfare Simulator. The Chinese indie scene is vastly diverse and interesting, even in the less popular genres. Introducing the best strategy game of the year, Extremely Realistic Siege Warfare Simulator. Extremely Realistic Siege Warfare Simulator may sound like one of those cheesy meme games, and it even looks very much like Human Fall Flat or Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, but don't get fooled by its appearance. This is one of the best and most fun indie strategy games ever created by a Chinese developer. The game is structured around small puzzle-like levels. Players can spawn squads of troops, including melee and ranged units, and command them over varied terrain, fight through enemies, and achieve objects. Many of the levels are really cleverly designed. Enemies know how to entrench themselves, set up ambushes, and try to pull off a pincer maneuver. It takes some serious planning and management to get past those levels, and when you do so, the sense of reward is just immeasurable. For the less clever levels, well, at least the fighting is entertaining to watch, and you can even join the battle in third person. With an active community and ever-growing player-created content, Extremely Realistic Siege Warfare Simulator is only getting better. Hottest ad player, Oh Sheep. Not all games are for playing, some of the games are simply designed to be an ad player. In 2022, there was an ad player that completely occupied social media in China. Let me introduce to you the hottest ad player of the year, Oh Sheep. Oh Sheep has a very memorable name and very confusing gameplay. It looks like a puzzle game, but what it really is an ad player. There's not much to say about the gameplay. It's your regular match and connect game with a ridiculous difficulty curve. The second level is almost impossible to beat since it's deliberately designed not to spawn the needed matching pieces. Statistically, there's only a 0.3% chance for anyone to beat that level. Players had to sit through ad after ad to get another try. Since it is designed to require many attempts, the ad revenue just poured into the developer's pocket. We crowned this game as our dark horse of the year, not because we love this game or support its business model, but because we are just stunned. This game would not even work on Facebook in 2012, but somehow, through clever marketing and exploiting the despicable human nature of everyone wanting to be the special guy that can beat this stupid game on social media, Oh Sheep became a massive hit in China in 2022. We hope this won't inspire a renaissance of clickbait mobile games. Well, at least most of the players know this is not what video games are about, right? Right, guys? Most memorable, A Perfect Day. There are some video games that can remind us of some specific day in our life. Among these games, A Perfect Day is the most memorable game of the year. A Perfect Day is a click-to-interact adventure game that tells the time loop story of a boy reliving the last day of 1991 over and over again. During the loop, he slowly uncovers secrets and solves problems. Because of its unique Chinese textbook illustration-like art style and nostalgic items from the 90s childhood of millennials, A Perfect Day gives many Chinese players the feeling of déjà vu. Colored school uniforms, mini four-wheel drive races, video arcades, computers with BIOS interfaces, and other old stuff keep reminding players of the good old days. To players who lived those days, A Perfect Day is a trip to their childhood. To players who have no idea about that life, A Perfect Day is like an immersive history book showing a stolen piece of that mysterious yet beautiful time in 1999. Those are my picks for the best and worst indie games that came out last year. If you are interested in these games, check out the description for more info. Next year is definitely more stacked with more exciting games. Follow us to not miss them. Pixi-Chan out.